my dear students, and welcome to yet another lecture in Zenith Academy Online. My name is Shagufta Jaipury, and today we are talking about letter writing, that is informal letters for ICSE students. So first, let's have a look at the format. So for an informal letter, we have to write the address, date, salutation, content or the body and subscription. So first let's talk about the marks distribution. So this question carries 10 marks in ICSE examination. The format gives you 2.5 marks for informal letter. For formal it is 3 marks and for informal it is 2.5. Content carries 2.5 marks and expression carries 5 marks. So first let's see the marks distribution of format, that how this 2.5 marks is distributed. So if you write the perfect address, I'll show you how to write a perfect address. You'll get half marks. If you write the perfect date, half mark, salutation, half mark, and subscription carries 1 mark because it is divided into 2 lines. So let's talk about address first. So it is the same as in formal letter. So sender's address is same. Here you can see that it is divided into 3 lines. So you should write it in 3 or 4 lines maximum. Okay. Here I have given 2 formats. In this format I have given the pin code. In this format there is no pin code, but both of the addresses are valid. But in every school it is recommended to write the pin code. So you have to try to finish it in 3 lines or maximum 4 lines. No short forms are allowed. So if you want to write building or apartment, you have to write the full name. You should not write BLDG for building. Okay. Then short and simple, your address has to be short and simple. There is no need to write the landmarks, etc. Okay. The proper noun should be in capital. For example, the name of the building is a proper noun, Naupada is a proper noun, Thane is a proper noun. So all the proper nouns has to be in capital. There should not be any spelling errors. So it is better if you remember one address from your home and go. Okay. Don't make any spelling errors there. Also there is a comma after the first line, after the second line, but in the third or the final line there is no comma or no full stop, but even if you put a full stop, that is okay. Now let's go on to date. You have to follow this format, 21st April, 2020. So you have to write this ST or ND or RD. For example, if you are writing 23rd, so you have to write RD. If you are writing 21st, you have to write ST. So this has to be in superscript above the line. Okay. Then month, comma and the year. The first letter of the month should be capital. Now this is very important point, actual date. You should write the exact date, the actual date when you are writing the examination. So for example, your examination is on 2nd February 2020. So you should write the same date, that is 2nd February 2020. Okay. Now no spelling errors in the name of months. So you should remember the name of the month. So it is better you remember the date and check the spelling of the month beforehand so as to avoid any spelling errors. Okay. This type of a format is not allowed. Month should begin in capital. So you should remember to follow this type of a format for writing date. It will give you half marks. Now let's go on to salutation. You have to remember in salutation these points very well because children make a mistake here. So when you are writing to mother or grandmother or father or grandfather, okay, you should write dear. Dear mother or dear grandmother, you should not write their names. But when you are writing to your friends or your brothers or sisters, then you should mention their names. Okay. You should not write dear brother or dear friend. You should write their names. Okay. For uncle and aunts, you should write the same as mother or grandmother, but you can write here names also. For example, you can write Aunt Martha. So you can write aunt also and the name of the aunt also. Okay. Now you should remember that D of the dear has to be capital. This has to be capital. The relation, when you are writing the relation like mother, grandmother or uncle, okay, the first alphabet has to be capital. Here you can see M, G, you, etc. Now, name of the friend, brother or sister is compulsory. You have to write the name of your friends. Okay. Now, so you should not be writing like this, dear brother or dear friend. You should write dear Rahul. These are the things you should remember while writing salutation. Now let's go on to subscription. Subscription has 2 lines, yours lovingly and then name. So very important thing here is you have to write only name, not your surname, because you are writing to the person very familiar to you. This is not a formal letter. Okay, you are writing to a person who is very close to you. So just write your name. So you will write yours lovingly, put a comma and your name. Okay, Y has to be capital for your, no apostrophe S here. Lovingly, L should be small. Then after lovingly you should put a comma, and then in the next line, and then in the next line you should write your name starting with a capital letter. Now let's talk about the body or content, which is a very important part. So the content should be divided into paragraphs. You should not write in one single paragraph. The content has to be divided into paragraphs and you have to delve straight into the topic. The ending has to be cordial. You have to take care of the language. Do not use any slangs. Okay. Keep your writing simple with good choice of words. So vocabulary should be very good and the tone has to be polite. Okay, because you are talking to someone who is very close to you. You should not hurt them. So let's look at few opening expressions here. So when you are talking to your friend or family member, you can write thanks for your letter. So you are thanking for the previous letter that they have sent and now you are replying them. Thank you so much for writing. You should avoid using questions. Okay, so how are you or how have you been? You should avoid it. Or how's everything going? Earlier we used to write questions, but you should avoid it. So better say thanks to them. I hope you are doing fine and hope you are well. Now suppose you are responding to any news or making comments about any of your friends or family members. So these are the few lines that you can use. Your last letter was a real surprise. What wonderful news about? And continue. I've just received your letter. I'm so happy, or I'm so sad to hear that. And then continue. It was lovely to hear from you, or it was great to get your letter. Sorry for not writing for so long. And I'm sorry I haven't written for so long, but I was really busy with. And you can continue. So this is how you will respond to any news or you make any comments. Then while mentioning the purpose of why you are writing to them, you can say, I am writing to tell you about, then you write the purpose, or I would like to give you some good news about my new life in hostel, or the party last week, or my baby sister, or my visit to Paris. Now, I have taken this question from ICSE website to give you a clear idea of an informal letter. So let's read this. You can also read this on the official website of ICSE. Let's read the question and then I'll give you an assignment to write the letter. Imagine that you are in a boarding school and have performed poorly in your terminal examination. Write a letter to your mother explaining the reason for your poor performance and tell her how you plan to do better in the forthcoming examinations. So this is the sample answer. So first you are writing your address. Okay, Jingle Bell Residential School. Okay, you are writing. Now since in the question you are in a boarding school, so you have to write the name of a residential school. Okay, then you write the address and the pin code. Okay, leave a line, write the date in the prescribed format. Again leave a line, write the salutation. Since you are writing to your mother, you can write my dear mummy or my dear mother or only dear mother. I know that now you are writing the first paragraph. So I know that you are very disappointed with my half-yearly report that you must have received last week. I am truly sorry for a poor performance and I'm feeling very depressed at having let you down so badly. I do not want to make excuses, but this last term I have been in and out of the infirmary several times. I had a bad attack of malaria and was unable to attend classes for about a week. Barely had I got over this when I broke out in a rash because of the medication and I had to go back into the infirmary. As As a result of this, I missed many classes and I scored very poorly in three subjects. I have now picked up health and have requested my teachers to give me some extra assignments. I also plan to do group study with some of the other boarders of my class. I am sure that this will help me to catch up with my studies, and I promise you I'll score much better marks in the next unit tests. So here you can see that in the first paragraph I had mentioned why I am writing this letter. Consecutive paragraphs I have mentioned in detail what went wrong and what I plan to do next. Okay, then in the end you have to write a conclusive paragraph. So please do not be worried about my health. So this is the conclusive paragraph. I am much better. I look forward to meeting you during the midterm break. And then you end your letter by writing yours lovingly or yours affectionately or your loving son. Yours lovingly goes well with every type of informal letter. So you can very well use that. And since the relation is so close, you're writing to your mother, you can write your loving son or your loving daughter also. And then just write your name without the surname. In the end of the name, you can put a full stop, or even if you don't put a full stop, that is perfectly okay. So I hope this sample letter gave you an idea. So here's an assignment for you now, a very interesting one. Write a letter to your friend describing your activities and schedule at home during the quarantine period. So all of you should write this letter and post it in the comment box below. I'll be very happy to check it and give you my responses on your letters. So if you have liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, do it right away and tap on the bell icon to receive all the notifications. Also, do not forget to watch our other videos on ICSE curriculum. Thank you and have a nice day.